Leave your comments on the Ask Reddit sub, and I'll read your answers on the next episode of LWIAR. What did a crush do that made you instantly lose interest in him, her? Removed. She asked me if I wanted to go to a concert with her. Then she wanted me to pay for both tickets that I knew she got for free. Promptly laughed at her and told her she can frick off with some other idiot. It's funny how fast the ugliness on the inside can overcome anything good on the outside. She did me a favor that day. If you invite someone and tell them to pay not only their part but yours too, there's something wrong. Especially if they were free in the first place. It's literally a scam at that point, rather than just being rude. That's a shady. Also, dollar bills are really unsanitary, and who would want to eat paper anyway? Termites. Threw rocks at a cat because she thought it was funny. That's no way to show appreciation to a funny cat. He asked me to help him hook up with my best friend. Edit. Continuation. At that time I thought he was indirectly rejecting me and asking for my friend's number at the same time. Two birds with one stone. You know, well, I asked my friend if she liked him and she said yes, so I became the matchmaker. They dated for like 3 months and broke up. The guy later told me she wasn't what he expected her to be. He also told me some of his friends liked me and he didn't want it to be a part of some manly fight. Well, we became good friends. I still had a little crush on him, but I had to change schools so I hid it and we parted 5 years ago. I am still wondering what he is doing right now. It was a bittersweet crush. I bet he knew I still had a crush on him. What kind of a guy you like? Your friend Alex. He is perfect. Haha, yeah he is. He thinks we look great together. Is he single? Yeah, but I don't see how this. I love him. Pay the bill. At the third line. Go. Haha, yes he is. He is so perfect. I just want to keep caressing him. What? We're in a relationship. You see, you're homosexual. Alex is homosexual. He's bi. Stare menacingly. Don't try to steal him from me. I love my friend Alex. I love my friend Al. The finest of buddies. My partner. My pal. We've journeys behind, and adventures ahead. And so, if you take him, I'll kill you, he said. We were out drinking. He got drunk and started fighting a guy that he thought had been harassing me. The guy said he didn't harass me. I said he didn't harass me. My crush still tried to defend me. Never lost interest faster. Oof. He looks like he was looking for a fight to impress you. He was mostly a mean drunk. The fact that he chose to protect me and not attack me seemed coincidental to me, and there was no reasoning either. At least that was the impression I got, and it made me very much afraid to start in anything with him. It was very educational for me, because I had been crushing on him hard for a good 2 years. Finally got what I thought I wanted and I was over him in a time span of 5 minutes. Edit. To add, he wasn't a bad person and it was the first time I saw him that drunk, but I could foresee a future of domestic violence that evening. I'm still in contact, and from what I've heard from his wife, he's self-centric. Another thing I couldn't see back then, but has never been aggressive towards her. I worked up the courage to ask this girl to go on a date. She said yes. On the date, she proceeded to spend the whole time gossiping about anyone and everyone she could talk bad about. I still remember the moment it clicked that she was just super shallow and mean. It's a bit different, but I had a moment when I was younger, maybe 15 or so, when I realized that my mum was like this. Anytime she could talk crap about someone, she would, and no one would be safe. It would be especially bad at family dinners. Almost like her only topic of conversation was talking bad about someone. This was when I realized that I'd probably be reducing contact with her. Once I'd moved out, was crushing on this girl for freaking months. And it turns out at her last apartment she stole $1,500 for coke and abruptly ended the lease, giving her 2 roommates barely any time at all to find new housing. One of which had to move back in with their abusive mother. Dodged a bullet. He tossed an empty drink bottle onto a random lawn as we walked down the street. I went on a date with a guy and he stuck his gum under the table at a bar. WTF. We were in our early 20s and out of college, working at adult jobs, and this motherfricker couldn't even grab a napkin. Who does that? I was driving with a girl that I liked. We went through the drive-thru and then sat and ate in the car. After she was done, she threw all the packaging out the window. I dropped her off at home and never spoke with her again. Littering is one of the things that I just cannot forgive a person for. It's so unnecessarily and gross. It would be an instant relationship ender. Oh man, that just pulled up a memory of a guy the first was on a date with who keyed a random person's car for no reason as we were walking along. Awful. Edit. Wow, I didn't expect all the upvotes and replies. Yikes. So, this happened about 25 years ago. I was a teen and didn't have a cell phone. I also was in an unfamiliar city. In retrospect, it was incredibly stupid of me to be in a situation I was in. He apologized for it. Why did he apologize to me? He was a stupid teen too, I guess. So I didn't report him. But I also did not go on another date with him. I feel bad for whoever's car that was. But I really didn't know what to do about it until it was too late. It didn't even occur to me that he was trying to impress me. Maybe that's why he apologized. Because it didn't work. I think he honestly regretted it. What the frick? What a dick. Going for the "I am a bad boy" look. It's almost comical. It sounds like teenage boys trying to do things that would impress them. Here's a light-hearted one. I developed my first crush when I was in 2nd or 3rd grade. This was right around the time when Pokemon were first becoming really popular. So naturally I was obsessed with them. I had the cards, the Game Boy games, etc. One day I overheard the girl I had a crush on talking to her friends at recess about how weird Pokemon were, and thus in a flash a young love was extinguished. Fast forward about 22 years and my wife also doesn't like Pokemon. Because life is strange. Life is Strange is a good game too. Divorce her. Our relationship advice leaking. Acting like a complete dickhead. And when I addressed it he said, "I know I'm in butthole. But I'm really sexy." Like, okay, suddenly, you're really not sexy at all. Lol, sounds like something I'd say to my GF ironically for a cheap laugh. If only he was being ironic, alas, he was not. She was going to a party and I said, "You seem pretty unenthusiastic about going." She replied with, "Don't use big words." Unenthusiastic, 14 letters. She was right, man, that's not a small word. Very long word. He should have rather used blase instead. Phlegmatic. Especially given she was apathetic about it. Okay, you seem big sad. No one go. Which one of you wants to be next to make a reference to The Office? Why say lot word when few word do trick? They see. This guy that I'd been talking to for a while on Tinder who I thought was cool, cute, but he never seemed down to meet up. One time he randomly messaged me to say he'd gone over to someone's place and they'd had sex 3 times. I think he was trying to make me jealous, but it just made me feel a bit gross. I had known this guy for a few weeks and finally had a date at his to cook me dinner. Texted him a couple days before to say hi, and asked him how his day was. He told me it was great because he had morning sex, then a good day at work, then a date and sex with a totally different person. On the one hand, thanks for making it easy for me to dump you. And on the other hand, maybe work on not being a 100% butthole. Edit. This was IRL and talking for a little over a month. So not it's Tinder and just for sex situation. I've never understood this. If you're trying to make someone jealous, which let's face it you shouldn't be doing anyway, go with something simple like someone was flirting hard with me and I kind of enjoyed it. Basically saying, "Hey, I'm into you but met this chick guy and we banged," would just make me think, okay, so they aren't that into me then and gross. You can have them then, I'm freaking out. Those are the same guys who are so insecure with themselves. They'll make sure their friends know if they got lucky, with some exaggerated details. It's just always super painful to learn about when people you were pursuing have sex with others. Even if it's someone that you're already over. The fact that they frick other people just puts such weird thoughts in your mind. My friend started dating my ex. She had him ask me for a condom once at a party, knowing I didn't carry condoms since we had just finished dating for several months. We are no longer friends. Frick people like that. Told me she has a crush on my brother. My brother and I look exactly the same. It's difficult even for our parents to tell us apart. One day this girl came up to me after seeing my bro and said he's cute. I mentioned we look the same. She said I'm ugly. This is me as well. My brother and I look incredibly similar in the face. But I'm sicklier and more asymmetrical from having a lot of medical problems as a kid. The difference in attractiveness ends up being monumental based on the small details. We're extremely similar as people as well. And yet most girls find him good looking, while most girls find me weird looking. I'm sorry Luigi, it just wasn't meant to be. Your tower belongs in another princess. We were 5, had planned to marry when we got older with a pancake cake and everything. I was invited to his birthday party and he and his friend was climbing a tree with him being higher up. Suddenly he pees down on his friend. We never got married. A pancake wedding cake, brilliant. I wish I had read this before I got married. Legendary 5-year-old move. In his defense, people tend to grow out of stuff like that. Or it turns into a fetish. He was mean to his mom, demanded money from her so we could go out, in front of me, and then called his grandma to get some more money so we could go out. So uncomfortable. Edit. Let me add more details. We were both around 21-20 seconds. I met this person, drove from the Midwest to Dallas with him, and was essentially stuck there for 2 days before my train was scheduled to leave. This behavior was not acceptable at all, and I felt uncomfortable the entire time. If you treat your mom like crap, you'll likely treat your partner like crap. It is known. Edit. Let me rephrase since y'all wanna get all technical. If you have parents who love you, and don't mentally or physically abuse you and you treat them like crap, you will likely treat your partner like crap. I said what I said. I hope he wasn't more than 15. We were both like 21. Cringe. Doubt that behavior is acceptable at any age. It's obviously not, but it makes more sense if it was a younger teenager. Not my crush, but someone who had a crush on me, or so I was told. She asked for my birthday, and I told her. She then calculated that I was younger than her by a week or so and straight up said to me, I did have a crush on a guy, but then I found out he was younger than me, so now there's not crush. Damn. Dude. Lol. What a dumb reason. My husband is 8 months younger than me, but born the same year. I love making cradle robbing jokes and telling him to respect his elders. He loves making old lady jokes. It's stupid, but it's fun to us. My fiancé is a few months older than me. Her sister is older than her husband, and their mom is older than their dad. There are many jokes made about the women in the family going after younger men. It was a teenage crush. He had multiple girlfriends, who didn't know about each other. Disloyalty is not cool. Yeah, cheating is bad and all, but when are we allowed to be impressed? 13 girlfriends would be a full-time job even if it wasn't done secretly. It honestly sounds unenjoyable. What were his arguments? Lol. Must have been some serious mental gymnastics. Cheating to feels good in the moment for both parties to a win-win. Unless the person you're cheating on gets upset. Thus, as long as that person isn't upset, perhaps because you hide it from them, it increases the net happiness in the world and is therefore for the greater good. She fricked my dad. Best to not crush on your mom anyways. Better frick her dad to assert dominance. Found out he was a serial cheater and cheated on his exes with strippers and masseuses. Edit. Just to clarify, he had sex with them. Some people in the comments didn't quite get it. I see we've dated the same man. Used a baby voice when speaking to me. Or who's a good little girl, huh? Is it you? I bet it is. Here, a CAANIII. Yay. I will snap your neck like a twig. Thanks for watching LWIAR. The best of recent r/AskReddit submissions and comments. If you like this video, check out LWIAR too. And don't forget to like and subscribe. Bye.